Hey, good morning, all you woodchuckers out there. It's early. What time is it? 4:45 in the morning, and it's pretty common for me to be up early in the morning. I actually put on a pot of spaghetti last night. My famous spaghetti that my kids absolutely love. Got the meatballs here, getting ready to put in the sauce. And then in here we've got these big Italian sausage links. And boy, you talking about good. Gonna do a really cool lunch today, and my son will be here, and then my daughter, she's coming over, and I believe my daughter-in-law and my grandson. At least I hope it works out that way. Anyways, just doing a little bit of my morning routine to share with you. Let you know what it's like on the home front here in the 110 cabinet shop. Here in a few minutes, I'll be taking Heidi for her walk. That's part of our every morning routine, and actually we're pretty fortunate lately. We've had some outstanding weather. But you know, I take that dog for a walk every morning. It doesn't matter if it's warm or if it's freezing cold. The only times I'd really hold off taking her is if it's really a downpour or something like that. But you know, we've had snow and I take her in the snow, you know. Boy, she loves that. Anyways, stick around. We'll go through a little bit more of the morning routine while Heidi and I are out on our walk. It's another early morning, isn't it? Hey, are you ready to go for a walk? Huh? Are you ready to go for a walk? Are you excited? Is that what you're wanting? Watch this, I get her leash before she goes crazy. Yeah, you ready to go, huh? Yeah. Let me get you hooked up and we'll go for a walk. You ready? Huh? We made it out the door, and this little girl is wagging that tail. This is her favorite thing in the morning. She loves to go for her walk. So on an average day, our walk is about 1.25 miles. Well, it's good for her and it's good for me. She really is a lot of the reason I get some good exercise every day. So it's a good time to talk about some things. You know, the one thing that really lingers on my mind with the work that David and I do, I wonder, you know, where are all the young tradesmen in this world? Let me tell you something. It's really difficult to find help nowadays, and there's days that I feel like we are a dying breed. You know, a couple of contractors that I normally do work for, they're old farts like me, and these contractors, you know, they're the kind, they're on the job sites themselves. They're doing the work just like I do, and they've got their crew, and you know, most of them are middle-aged men and some old like me. Where's all the fresh young blood nowadays? You know, there's so much work out there, and a common problem over the past 3 years that I know of is that there's so many clients out there that need work done and can't find people to do it. They get put on a waiting list. I've had to turn a good bit of work down, and I've had some people that I put on a waiting list, you know, but oh my goodness, it's just crazy the way it's gotten. Just wanted to throw that in because it's been on my mind. But you know, yeah, give me a comment. You know, I'd like to hear from any of you if you can relate to this, and if you're a client who's potentially needing work done and you've had difficulty finding people to do the work for you, or if you're in this field of work, you know, are you having the same difficulty finding people to work? It's really something. But anyways, David and I have a pretty good day ahead of us today. We got all the face frames complete. That was a timely process. I'll tell you, when you do normal standard face frames, it's something you can get done relatively quick. But when you're doing the beaded face frames, it adds quite an element of time to the whole thing. It took us a little while to get that done. Today we're going to be transitioning into building the cabinet boxes. You know, that'll take a process of time as well, and then I'm hoping to transition into building, because this particular job has 36 drawers, a lot of drawers for one job, and so I'm going to see if I can start ripping up material to start doing the drawer boxes, and then hopefully we can simultaneously be working on two things at one time. That's the goal. But you know, David, he's fresh and new to this. You know, he's 23 years old. He went through the Marine Corps, and I have to say, when he was young, he never really had much of an interest getting in the shop and me teaching him any of this stuff. I'm the kind of father that, you know, I didn't raise him and breed him to be what I am and who I am particularly. You know, I've always tried to encourage my kids to use their talents. And David is very good with technical things. He was in data communications in the Marines, and I was actually quite surprised that he came to work for me, but very pleased. It's such a breath of fresh air to have him working in the shop with me. I just love it. And he is catching on, but he has a ways to go. He has a lot to learn. And the goal is, as long as he's working with me, is to get him to the point where he can, I can really just leave him alone on some things, and he can take off on his own in situations where I need him to. For instance, this spring, you know, I have plans on, if all goes well, I have plans to make a trip to Arizona to visit some family, and I'm going to be going on my Gold Wing. I've been, one other time I went on a motorcycle, it wasn't a Gold Wing, but man, it's such a fun thing to do. And I should be gone for about 3 weeks, so I'm hoping to get him to a point where I can put him on some things without me having to really be there and supervise him. I'm thinking it'll work out. I have a lot of confidence in him. I mean, he's made a few mistakes here and there, and I've anticipated that. I know he's going to, but the thing that I really like is he cares. I mean, he genuinely cares, and when he does make a mistake, he really tries to avoid making that same mistake again. But anyway, he's coming along. Things are going well in the shop. We're really taking a lot of pleasure in trying to put these videos together for you, to take you through the process, seeing what it's like to actually put a set of cabinets together. You know, not everybody's interested in that kind of thing, but yet there are probably many of you who are, you know. I guess another thing I want to share is, over the years, you know, I've gotten quite a few compliments from people, and, you know, on the work that I do, and I take pride in it. I really enjoy it, and I'm grateful for that, and it humbles me. You know, I really try to stay humble in this line of work. Sometimes it's an art. You know, there's cabinet jobs I've had where, you know, you had to really put some special touches into it, you know. It's really an enjoyable thing. I'll tell you, I give the credit and the glory to God, because God created the heaven and the earth, and I don't want to leave that out. It's very important for me to acknowledge that. I'm always fascinated by the fact that when you look at a set of cabinets in somebody's house, that those cabinets actually came from a seed in the ground. Think about that. A tiny little seed that fell on the ground produced a tree, and it's an element that man can take, form, and craft into something like cabinets. And you know, our cabinetry is not limited to just kitchen cabinets. We do all kinds of things, you know. Fireplace mantles, bookshelf units, office units, you name it. I mean, but it's a pleasure. And you know, God gave me the talent, and I'm a big believer in that, you know. For instance, you know, some people were born and musically talented. I picked up a guitar years ago. I learned a few chords, but I'm going to say I couldn't get past that. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get past that. And made me realize that some people were just born with it. And I actually had this talent back when I was in high school. I took woodshop, and I'll never forget my woodshop teacher, Mr. Ramsey. Man, what a great guy he was. And he was always very impressed with what I did. The only thing is, I was so young that I didn't see for myself that I actually had that talent. And had I really known that then and grasped it, I would have gotten started way younger. I was like 29, 30 before I even got into any kind of woodworking. And now I've been doing it for over 25 years. So, and that gets back to the whole tradesman thing. Where are these young guys? Because I'll tell you, they're missing out. They're missing out. It's a good living. I've done well with this, and I'm really grateful. I thank God for an uneducated guy like myself. I mean, I have a bit of intellect and I have a good bit of common sense, but I'll tell you, I'm not one of these college grads, and not knocking them. I mean, there's a place for everybody in this world, and you know, we need engineers and all kinds of people like that, but I'll tell you, it's been a good living. And I just think sometimes there's got to be young guys out there that can do this kind of work. And you know, not everybody can go to college. But yet, you know, there's guys that can learn this stuff, and kind of disheartening the fact that there are just so few out there, it seems like nowadays. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to kind of share our morning a little bit, and I think I want to turn the camera over to David next couple of days and let him take you through a little bit of his morning routine and talk to you. But Heidi, hey baby, you enjoying your walk? Right now we're actually going around the old Lincoln Mill building. This building is pretty unique. It's an old building here, and they, over the past 2 years, they refurbished it. Well, there was an attempt to refurbish this building about 10 years ago, and I was a part of that. This building actually does have some of my cabinets in it. Now, I do know that there's a portion of my cabinets that they took out, and they revamped some of those places where I did cabinets, but still there's some in there. But the problem is I can't take in there and get to them because this building has some companies in here that well, they high-tech companies, and they keep doors locked. You can't get through, you know. So this goes back about 10 years ago when I did work in this building here, and it was quite an experience. But back then they had a particular contractor that they weren't happy with, got rid of him, and then sold the property to another investor. Well, this investor came in and really revamped this place. I mean, all the way down to redoing the parking lot all the way around completely. On the front side of the building, they have a restaurant, they have a coffee shop, a bicycle shop or something, and they're putting in a climbing, I don't know what you call these things, where they have these walls where you climb, I guess for climbers to train. Pretty neat deal, you know. Heidi, hey baby. This girl, she loves to just sniff and smell everything. She does it every morning. And these high weeds, she loves going through them. She's actually gotten a raw deal. I think well, we both did. You know, she's a country dog trapped in the city, and I'm a country boy trapped in the city. We make the best of it. Anyways, that's a wrap for now. Good morning to you all. Have a happy day, and we'll be getting some film pretty soon of us getting into building these boxes for you. Yeah, Heidi and I, we just got back from our walk, and this is her routine. She likes to stay out in the yard. Isn't that right, baby? You like to stay here out in the yard after our walk, don't you? She likes the fresh air. It feels good out here. But anyways, so every morning on our walk, we pass this guy up, and the gentleman's about my age, and you know, we always say hi. So this morning, pretty briefly, I said, hey man, you know, you must be on your way to work, right? He's like, yeah. I said, where do you work? And he told me. And you know, this guy, from where we were at, he still had another 1.5 miles to 2 miles to get to his job. And so I'll guarantee you, this guy every morning walks anywhere from 2 to 3 miles to get to work, and then obviously he has to walk back home. And you know, I just want to say my hat's off to him, you know, because I think, as you all well know, I've seen this, I've experienced it. I mean, we go into restaurants, we go into stores, they're all short-staffed, they can't get employees, and I wonder, you know, why are people not working, and how are they able to survive without working? I don't get it. But my hat's off to this guy, a guy around my age, and here he is walking every day to get to work. Apparently he must not have a vehicle, because I see him very consistently. I mean, Heidi and I, we do these walks every morning. I see him, well, every morning. You know, every time I pass him, we say hi. I always wonder, I'm like, because am I the only idiot that's out at 5 in the morning? And I see him walking, I'm wondering, where's this guy going? And then it dawned on me, I'm like, man, surely he's got to be walking to work or something, you know. And then, yeah, this morning I asked him, I said, you must be on your way to work, right? He's like, yeah. So anyways, my hat's off to him. And, you know, it's good to see people occasionally who are doing right, trying to live right, and certainly setting examples for other people who need examples to be set, you know. I tell you, I could get on my soapbox about this whole thing about this younger generation, and not just the younger generation. There's people my age too, you know. Just I guess I don't tolerate laziness too well, you know. And I'm pretty old school in a lot of ways, and I have worked from the time I was young. You know, I'm talking 13 years old. I was out in a Christmas tree farm hoeing around Christmas trees to keep the weeds down, and you know, then my first real job was working in a Wendy's restaurant. That's a whole nother subject. But the quality of these restaurants and the quality of the food and how it's changed over the years, it's just not what it used to be. But work ethic, you know, I wasn't the kind of kid that my parents bought me this nice fancy car and handed me the keys and said, here you go. It's good for young kids to be challenged. And if you're gonna buy your kids a car, make them work to pay the insurance, or even make some payments to you, but give them that structure. It's structure, you know, it's a work ethic. And you know, when you hand them things, you know, now don't get me wrong, I help my kids out in situations where they need it, and I think every parent tries to do that. I just try not to go overboard with it, you know, where I shower them and shelter them with so many things that it creates a lazy child and they're not really striving to do things for themselves, you know. But when they get in situations where they need help, sure, yeah, certainly I'm all about that, you know. Anyways, just thought I'd throw that in the mix. And again, everybody have a good day today. I'm out for now.